What is up, you guys? My name is Austin Marks and welcome to my YouTube channel. So I've been a respiratory therapist for almost 2 years now, and today I'm going to talk about my salary. So when I first started out, I was making $23.45. Like I said, I'm from Pennsylvania. So things vary depending on where you live. So if you live in the city, you live in more of the suburbs, it just all depends. Depends what healthcare system you work with. If you're inpatient, you're outpatient. Your salary is going to vary either tremendously or by a little bit. It also depends what shift you work. So I work night shift, so therefore I get paid $2.50 extra on top of that $23.45. So that was my starting rate. You can also get paid extra for working weekends. So I actually am going to talk about this a little bit. I just switched over to every other weekend, and I got a pretty big pay raise. So when I first started out, like I said, I was making $23.45, and after working 2 years and after a full year of COVID, I'm glad to say that I'm making 50 cents more at my full-time job, and at my PRN job I'm making $1 more. So is this typical? I want to say that you will probably see anywhere from 1 to a 3% raise every single year, as long as you're a good employee, you're not calling off all the time, you're not making stupid mistakes all the time. You just will annually have that little bit of increase, and then you eventually will get maxed out at a certain rate. I don't know what the exact rate is at this point. However, it can be anywhere from $30 to $40. I know some respiratory therapists who make $50. They commented on my other video. Now, of course, they live in California, so they have a pretty big tax bracket out there. But either way, $50 is a huge number. I also do know that with COVID, a lot of people got paid a huge bonus on top of what they were already making. So one of the hospitals I work at were paying me $20 extra an hour for working certain shifts. Sometimes it was 15, sometimes it was only 10. Either way, that helped out a lot. That more than almost doubled my pay, so that was fantastic, especially if I worked overtime. That was just racking in the dough. So like I said, I started out at $23.45, my full-time job. I got a 50-cent raise, so I'm making around $24 an hour. Plus my shift differential, so I work night shift, so therefore I get an extra $2.50 extra. So I'm making $26.50. Now I also just started working every other weekend, which is $7.50 on top of my normal pay. So that would be what, $33.50. Now I only get that pay when I work on the weekends. When I work throughout the week, I just get that typical $26 or whatever. So I'm going to make a video talking about how much I made working last year for a whole year as a respiratory therapist. Now this does include my PRN job as well as my full-time job. That will give you a little bit more perspective into numbers, because right now I'm just rattling off what I make in an hour. So you can go ahead and calculate that if you really want to. I work 40 hours a week. Or you can just wait till that video and watch it, because that's going to give you all the numbers at once. I also talk about my PRN job, how much I make there, what my rate is, how many hours I work there. So then I also talk about my PRN job as well as other PRN jobs. Some PRN jobs will offer tremendous bonuses and just a huge pay, because they're not giving you any benefits, compared to some hospitals. They'll just kind of give you a base rate of what they're paying everyone else. And honestly, it all depends. Like I said, depends on the healthcare facility, how big the hospital is. There's just so many factors that go into it. Now, in my hospital, I also said that I'm working every other weekend. So the people who work every weekend, because we have a weekend shift, they actually get paid double time. So whatever they're making full time, they're getting paid twice that for every hour. So some of those therapists are making closer to $50 an hour, and that's fantastic. So even in Pennsylvania, it's possible to get close to that $50 mark. Like I said, it honestly all depends on what your job is, where you work. So many factors to go into it. I cannot repeat that enough. So when you're looking for a job, definitely apply to several different places. Compare the hours that you're going to work, the hourly wage, how far you're going to drive. So yes, I can get paid more at a hospital that is twice as far away from home. However, I'm going to be spending all that extra money on gas, so why would I do that to myself? Plus, studies show that people who work further away from home have higher blood pressure, they're more miserable, higher heart rate, and I do not want to put that on myself. That's for a whole different video. Well, anyway, if you guys have any other questions about salary, about the hours I worked, I have some other videos on that. You can check that out, or you can leave a question in the comment. Comment on what you make per hour. Just help some other respiratory therapists get an understanding. Like I said, I have a whole nother video, and many other respiratory therapists go ahead and they reveal what they make. Some other people ask some other questions, so I would check out that video as well. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.